we're back, and some things I wanted to go over. This cap here I was talking about. When I got this sending unit, this plug wasn't in here. It's just a plug. I pried it out of this one. I think that's why you guys saw me struggling with the locking nut a little bit, okay? And you know, maybe leave that off and put that on after the fact. And you know, it looks like the soap as a lubricant is really the trick, but you know, and we'll go get the, like I said, we'll go get the fuel line hose so it doesn't deteriorate on me. But that wasn't too rough. You know, and then I discovered also that, you know, in Dodges this free floats, but you see all the rust. See, look at the chunks of rust that came off of that just here. And that thing, you know, there's the pump. Oh boy, just total. Look at all that. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't start the, you know, I'm glad I didn't pull all that up through my, you can replace these filters, you know, they do sell them. You can just replace the filter, but as you can see, my whole sending unit was just total garbage. And I'm glad I am glad I went this route. Wasn't too bad. I think it was about 70 bucks. So, you know, so remember, dish soap, it's pretty good for lubricating things. And I think it acts like thread locker, where, you know, when it dries, things get locked into place. I know we used to use them on hand grips. And that's what the old guys used to tell me. They say, you know, dish soap, they go right on. You come back about a day later and you can't get those grips off. You know, they don't spin off in your hands. They're on the, you have to cut them off the handlebars. So anyhow, there you go. Let's go get it out in the truck. Okay. All right, I'm putting the tank in. And, this time I'm just going to use a floor jack. You know, it's pretty easy to get in there. And if you look up in here, you know, I made all the connections, you know, and I got my floor jack underneath there. This right here is that red thing. After you put that on, you snap that in. This is your gas line here, and there's a little clip there, a little emissions vapor line, and then you got that line there on the end that I was going to replace. And all they had was some kind of like farm tractor hose, but it was the right size, and it's for diesel fuel, so it should work. So you can see I got all my connections, and there's quite a bit of slack there, you know. I have the jack pushed up underneath there, but this thing almost sits flat on the floor, so it's not a big deal. So this here strap goes in first, goes around the bottom, and then you got your two straps from front to back right there where that one bolt is that I made. And I'm about to let you know those are long enough. Those are 6-inch. I think they're going to be long enough, but I'll let you know if it's going to be long enough. So I'm going to jack this thing up. This little round part here, that right there has got to go in that right there. And a lot of shadows. And then I'll run it up. So let's see how I go. But you know, pretty much connect, Make sure everything's all the connections are snapped back in, and up she goes. Let's see how. All right, I got everything tightened back up. Those J-bolts, they were 8 inches. I would get the 7-inch one. 7-inch carriage bolts. Or 8-inch, you cut them down an inch and make sure they're threaded right, because yeah, that's a little tight right there. I like to have a little more thread. I think once I get them run up in there, they'll be fine, but just to make things easier on you. And how I make those again is I just grabbed carriage bolts. I put this in the vise. I heated this up with the torch. I bent it. I used this as a gauge as to what the degrees was. I believe it's about 13 degrees. And this was pretty easy to put in. You know, this over here, right up in there. Ran up pretty nice. See the J-bolt there. And then I'll just tighten the rest of them. It's pretty much in place. May have a little bit more to go. So I'm just going to finish up that. Everything's hooked up. One thing I do not like is that gasket filler tube. I just don't like this shit. Anyways, later.